guys. Danny and Bushes. How's it going?
Hey, Jenny and Bushes, what's up?
I want to comment on that interview you just had there. I think the big problem with that guy's argument is the underlying assumption that smoking pot on a regular basis or addiction to it is wrong or bad. I think that comes from like a kind of a Protestant worldview that this is naughty because you're finding enjoyment in another way other than God it's there's a lot of doctors that say that shit, like Dr. Drew will say that too, and it's the who cares what someone else does that makes them happy if it's scientifically proven not to hurt their health. People get on people for smoking cigarettes, which I can understand, but I mean, it's the studies show that if you're like 15 or younger, it'll fuck up your brain development, but other than that, there's nothing.
Well, I think
you might vacuum on Thursday instead of Tuesday.
Well, I mean, I would say that I think his primary concern is younger people. B, I think that I don't know that it's really so established that there isn't a level of that there is no such thing as abuse when it comes to marijuana. I mean, I think in the end...
Sure. I mean, you could abuse Disneyland if you live right next to it, though. I mean, it's the same. It's not like alcohol where it's like poisoning your body daily. There's no hangover. There's nothing. It's just...
First off...
You can't OD. There's nothing.
I just don't know, frankly, if there's enough research to support that. But I think in the main, I think there is a certain amount of sort of, maybe there's something to what you're saying in terms of, there not being possible to have an addictive or abusive relationship, I guess, with marijuana in particular. But nevertheless, the point remains in terms of the price points for kids. And so once you acknowledge that it is problematic for kids under the age of 15, and I would argue also that, maybe you'd want to raise that even if there isn't necessarily data that I think just sort of emotionally speaking that while I don't think, use of pot age 16, 17, 18 is in moderation is problematic, you also have people who haven't fully emotionally developed, and it's the same problems you have with alcohol. You don't know how to responsibly use it yet. You don't have the emotional maturity to understand that. And so I think, restricting it at least to some extent for people under the age of, let's say, 18, I don't know, 21, but 18 in my mind, I think makes some sense. And it would be really hard to sort of split the difference by saying somehow we're going to make it more expensive for kids and less expensive for everybody else. I mean, that seems to be impossible. So you may have a point about that sort of sense of, how people should live their lives. But I think in practice, it's sort of moot.
All right. Thanks for hearing me out.
All right. Appreciate the call.
I just wanted to bring up, isn't pretty much all these programs where you admit to having a problem or an addiction, aren't they all based on religion? Like the most famous one, the 12-step that's heavily, like I can't think of an addiction recovery system that isn't heavily based on religion.
They have some. They definitely have some that are, and there are groups that are set up specifically in terms of alcohol in response to the sort of the God Squad quality of AA.
Because because when when you have to go to AA, like it's mandatory that you go. You're forced into this system that's telling you to turn to religion.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if you have to go to AA or some similar program. I'm not sure.
I do just know that so many of them, like far the majority, have religion as one of the bases for recovery.
There's definitely options available for people that aren't religiously based.